have life still in your eyes, and the only way to retain that is to keep this like dialogue going, is to think of something, think of a song, think of a poem, think of a scene in a movie that you love, but whatever it is, like, have those thoughts going on in your head so that you see it on your face. It always kind of bothered me when I saw girls, on fashion shoots feeling like they could just skate by on their looks. And that's kind of ironic because to be a model, you have to be pretty kind of thing. But I guess I had been inspired by so many people in the fashion industry and the entertainment business that potentially weren't like the most typically beautiful, but they had this something about them that was just so magnetic and attractive, and it wasn't all about the physicality. There was this kind of comfort in their own skin, this comfort with their own talent or with what they were creating that made their characters so interesting. And I realized that you have to be interesting. People have to feel drawn to you, and sometimes a lot of times it goes beyond like the exterior. There's people out there that might not be typically beautiful, but you just want to know them. You want to know what it is about them that makes them feel so special.
And that philosophy is more so important now because of the prevalence of Instagram and different formats out there, IG Live. You can't just lie on the floor being beautiful. You have to be three-dimensional now. When people ask me, what does it take to be a good model? And what does it take to be a good actress? I go, you have to be, in the most important way, vulnerable. Because if you're vulnerable, then you're wanting to show your strength as well as weaknesses. And through that range of strength and weaknesses, you get a range of emotions. And I think that's when you tell the best stories. And that's what when I see pictures like this with her breads, I can't help but lean in and keep leaning in and go, what is she thinking? What's that little fingertip doing? Why is she coloring herself, holding herself in that way? This capture moment is her breads is so gorgeous. And you do that throughout every picture. You look like you're mad here, and perhaps you're not, but you're portraying such amazing energy. And because of these kind of photos, as I was growing up as a photographer, you were all over my wall. You were the posters on my wall because they began to speak to me what advertising really meant. When I worked for our group in New York, advertising scene, we worked on Donna Karan, worked on Tommy Hilfiger, all those accounts. As in fashion, we always do one thing that's reference. There's nothing original, you guys. I'm sorry to tell you, as a photographer, I'm going to tell you now. There's nothing I will ever shoot will be original because it does not exist. Everything is influential. Everything is aspirational, inspired by. And I know for so many of imagery that you have created, they're so inspiring because they're storytelling. I have to say, this is by the most referenced series of photos.
Great shoot.
Oh my gosh!
But it's funny. I feel like every photographer I've ever worked with had great references, and they're able to show you what their vision is through pictures that they're inspired by. But through that, with the right team of people, you create something new. And I think it happens without people even meaning it to. Sometimes I think you all have the same vision in your head of like, oh, I want it to feel like Paris, shot by Cartier-Bresson from the 1920s or 1930s. But then what it actually ends up being is something very modern and very, very groundbreaking in a sense. And everybody pulls from somewhere. We all have to pull from somewhere. But through that pulling, you're able to like put your own kind of energy into it. And it's like, if somebody had if someone is like super punk rock but they love Balzac, and like what's that gonna look like? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You just suddenly get something that's very different, even though it's still like reference.
Well, when in art school, one thing that we always taught is to learn to paint like a master. You're gonna copy, Da Vinci's work. You're gonna copy all the masters, even Picasso's early sketches, who does amazing figure drawings that people don't realize. He's not just about cubism and expressionism and all that.
And
And
for sure, I mean, and it was Picasso that talked about the fact that to be a cubist, you
yes,
have to learn to draw correctly.
he was drawing
You have to do
buffalo.
photorealism before
Yes.
you go off into
And that's
oh my god!
such a-
So I hear the door open,
Go ahead.
and I think it's my daughter. And then look who walked in. It's wow. Hey, hi, Corey.
Hi. She's getting
See,
open.
that's our
You're
dog.
right.
He opens doors.
And no matter what reference that we do as photographers, and we always get storyboards, and we bring it on set, and we meet with the talent that we're working with, somebody like you, another actor or actress, they're going to bring something new of their own. You're never going to be able to copy. It just doesn't. Even if you copy, you would never be the same. It would never actually be the same. And that took a while for me to learn and to be okay with it. I had opportunity to work with Herb Ritz before on music videos, so there was often time when I started shooting, I go, oh, I want to make sure I don't reference him because people think I'm copying him. But you know what? I tried to copy him. I'll never be him. You know,
Yeah.
that's the lesson I had to learn. It is okay to reference. It is okay to embrace and do that.
Well, it's
period.
funny because I remember when I was a kid in the 90s, and I was
And this
shooting.
was 90s.
What?
This picture was 90s.
No. That picture
It's
is
not?
recently. It was one of the last shoots I did with Peter.
Oh my
Remember?
gosh, you're timeless. See,
Yeah.
this is 90s. This one.
This is 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 2000s actually. But anyway, I remember hanging